What's up, everybody? Welcome to RetroGameCrunch. Welcome to the Weekly Dive, where we're going to dive into one game a week. It's going to be featured from my collection, so it could be one of these games, could be one of those games, could be a game from there, or there. That's right, we're going to dive into some gameplay footage, we're going to go over some facts, some opinions, what my thoughts are of the game, in case you're interested in adding it to your collection. This is just going to be a general overview of each game. So after we talk a little bit about the game, I'm going to come back with my opinions on the game. That way you can get a little bit more information on my thoughts and see if it's something that you want to add to your collection. Today we're diving into a hidden gem from the Sega Genesis library. One that combines historical adventure, puzzle solving, and some classic platforming action. I'm talking about Indiana Jones and the Instruments of Chaos. So grab your whip and your fedora, because we're going on a wild ride through time. Released in 1993, Indiana Jones and the Instrument of Chaos is based on the Young Indiana Jones Chronicle TV series. The game follows a young Indy as he travels to various historical locations, racing to stop mystical artifacts known as the Instruments of Chaos from falling into the wrong hands. Now, this game isn't just your average action-adventure title. It blends platforming with puzzle solving, and even throws in some RPG elements as you interact with characters and uncover clues. But what really sets it apart is its historical setting. You'll travel through places like the Middle East, during World War I, Europe, and even South America, entering real-world events and historical figures. The gameplay has a great variety of stages, from the traditional platforming levels where you run, jump, and whip your enemies, to high-octane vehicle sequences where you're dodging enemy fire and obstacles. These vehicle levels really ramp up the action and give the game a fresh pace as you switch between different gameplay styles. And of course, no Indiana Jones game would be complete without the whip. Whether you're solving puzzles or whipping your way through enemies, that iconic tool plays a huge role in the Instruments of Chaos. The whip isn't just for show either. It's essential for interacting with the environment and getting past tricky obstacles. But this game isn't all about action. Instruments of Chaos includes a heavy dose of puzzle solving and character interaction. You'll talk to NPCs, gather clues, and sometimes even engage in stealth sequences where Indy has to avoid detection to complete his mission. It's not all just running and gunning. The historical settings are really what make this game stand out. You're not just jumping through random fantasy lands. Each location is grounded in real history. You'll explore World War I era Europe, ancient ruins in South America, and even meet legendary figures like Lawrence of Arabia. It's like history class, but with a lot more action. The graphics, especially for the Sega Genesis, were impressive for its time. You get smooth animations, clear character sprites, and detailed environments that bring these historical settings to life. The music really adds to the adventure too, capturing that epic Indiana Jones feel with every step you take. The game can definitely be challenging, especially with its mix of puzzles, platforming, and action sequences. But that's what makes it fun, and with multiple paths and outcome in some stages, there's plenty of replay value. If you're up for a challenge and love exploring, this game keeps you coming back for more. And it's not all just about the quiet historical bits. You'll face high-energy sequences like daring escapes, action-packed chases, and intense battles, all while trying to stop those mystical artifacts from altering history. It's the perfect balance of brainpower and brawn. Now, Indiana Jones and the Instruments of Chaos may not have been the most commercially successful game, but it definitely found its niche audience. Fans of the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles TV show absolutely loved it, and it's a cult favorite for retro gaming enthusiasts. The unique mix of history, action, and puzzle solving still holds up today. The game also does a great job of giving Indy some allies along the way. Remy Boudin, a character from the TV series, makes an appearance, and the interactions you have with your allies help push the narrative forward. It's not just about running around with a whip. Sometimes Indy needs help. So if you're looking for a game that combines a rich historical backdrop with exciting action and puzzle solving, Indiana Jones and the Instruments of Chaos might just be your next adventure. It's got that classic Indiana Jones charm, and it does a fantastic job of mixing real-world history with the thrilling escapades you expect from the franchise. Have you ever played this hidden gem? Let me know in the comments below what your favorite part of the game was. Indiana Jones and the Instruments of Chaos, where history meets action, and every whip crack could change the course of time. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that dive into young Indiana Jones and the Instruments of Chaos. I hope you found the facts and the other information pretty interesting, as I did, because it wasn't a game that I was aware of that was based on a TV series. My overall thoughts for this game is, it's got a really good story and plot. The game allows you to pick up at different levels. For example, you can start in Egypt, you can start in London, you can start at different areas throughout the game, so you're not stuck following one specific path. The levels that I was able to play through briefly to capture the gameplay footage offered a great mix and variety. For example, when I was in London and I was on the bridge, that was one specific level that had you going through different areas and doing different things like bombing the gears. And the level for Egypt had you kind of running through the desert and fighting obstacles like snakes and the people with the swords. Overall, I thought this Indiana Jones had a great mix of weapons and abilities. For example, being able to toss the grenades to blow things up, or use your whip to defeat enemies, as well as a pistol, if you need to, and being able to use the whip to climb different objects, all made it for a very interesting gameplay. Now, the game did offer some negatives in the fact that the game seems kind of repetitive. Much like a lot of Sega Genesis games, you're oftentimes moving through the levels in the same way. Sometimes those levels can often be hard to tell where you need to go. For example, I got kind of stuck at the bridge at one point because I went from one end to the other, dropped down the bridge, and thought I was on the correct path. However, there was an obstacle blocking me. I didn't realize until later on that I had to go back up all the way across to where I started and then move across to the other side. One of the things that I found the most annoying was the birds in most of the levels, because it's really hard to use the whip to defeat some flying objects, and the whip has to be very, very accurate, with only the end of the whip hitting the object or defeating the foe in order to knock them down or kill them. The birds are the one thing that I enjoyed the least. So if you're a fan of the Indiana Jones series, I highly recommend you go get this game. It's a good mix of challenge, however, there are some portions of it that make the game easier and a lot more enjoyable to play. Overall, I enjoyed playing this game, and it's a game that I'll probably go back and play in very short series, 15 to 20 minutes at most, maybe 30 minutes, but it's one of those games that I think I'll be playing again and again. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe. Leave me a comment below about a future game that you'd like me to cover. If I've got it in my collection, I'm more than happy to cover it for you, give you a little gameplay footage, add a little bit of facts and opinion on it, and we'll cover it on the channel. Until next time, happy gaming!